Good evening, and thanks for joining us. I'm Jim Axelrod in for Norah tonight. After a week of intense criticism, President Biden stood in the East Room of the White House this afternoon to defend his handling of the crisis in Afghanistan. The president tried to put a positive spin on the chaotic situation in Kabul since the Taliban took the capital Sunday. The president says about 13,000 people have been evacuated since the military airlift began last weekend. But there's such a crush of people trying to escape that flights out had to be delayed today. At the airport in Kabul, scenes of frustration and desperation play out as thousands of Afghans who helped fight America's longest war are also trying to flee. President Biden says, quote, there will be plenty of time to criticize and second guess when this operation is over. We have two reports on the crisis tonight. Our Roxana Saberi is on the ground for us in Doha, Qatar. But we begin with Weijia Jiang at the White House. Good evening, Weijia.
Good evening, Jim. Tonight, President Biden says he is focused on what he called one of the largest, most difficult airlifts in history. The president says there are no indications that U.S. citizens are having a hard time getting through to the airport. But CBS News has learned that the Taliban is growing violent with those who are fleeing there, and that includes Americans.
Outside the Kabul airport, desperation is growing as hopeful evacuees flash their passports to get through security. Children beg for help, and parents send their babies over barbed wire for a chance at freedom. Soldiers on the other side are caring for them. In Washington, President Biden offered this reassurance.
Let me be clear. Any American who wants to come home, we will get you home.
But the president would not commit to staying past his withdrawal deadline of August 31st to ensure Afghan allies escape too, saying he would make that judgment later.
I cannot promise what the final outcome will be, or what it will be, that it will be without risk of loss.
CBS News has learned that during a briefing with House lawmakers, Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin said the Taliban has beaten some Americans in Kabul, calling it unacceptable. So far, the U.S. military has evacuated 18,000 people since the end of July, including 5,700 in the last 24 hours. But they halted the operation for 6 to 7 hours, scrambling to find open facilities in other countries to house the refugees. Those in Doha are already overcrowded.
It was just reckless. It was almost criminally reckless.
Ohio Congressman Steve Chabot, who attended the briefing, said the hasty exit means danger looms.
We have Americans and our allies all over the country in great danger right now. So that's the number one priority. But over the long term, it's all that weaponry that's now in the hands of the worst and can be used against us and our allies all across the globe.
President Biden said the U.S. is keeping a close watch on any potential terrorist threats in or around the airport, including from ISIS affiliates, among the thousands of prisoners the Taliban released when it took over. Jim.
Weijia Jiang at the White House, thank you.